Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday, and that means we're here to talk about prisoners. It is Mugshot Monday.
Meatloaf
Hey!
Monday, Monday, and that one word that I don't know how to pronounce.
Malfeasance Monday. Okay, look,
Yes,
Keisha, I've got to
it's.
mail you because I've got these sitting right here, but I've been out of town so much. I got to mail you this Mugshot
What does that
Monday.
say?
It says
Oh yeah,
Mugshot Monday. It's a
oh yeah,
sticker.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I got another one for you that says journalism that I'm going to send you.
Yeah, I need those.
I gotta send
Yes.
you stickers. I got these and I just keep forgetting. Um, that's a sidebar. Well, we've got some new people to talk about this week on Love During Lockup. So that's exciting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
You know
exciting.
what? I
What
forgot about them.
already?
I
These
did.
are attractive alcoholics. So
Well, they're a bit older
they
than
are?
what we're used to as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you hadn't have said that, I would have totally. You could have done the whole show and not have mentioned them, and I would have been like, "Hey,
You're like, show's
we
over. I
missed
forgot.
them." I don't remember their names at
It
all.
is Rick, Samantha.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that
Hey.
sounds right. That
That
sounds
sounds
right.
sure, we'll
Yeah.
go with that.
Mm.
Let me see if I can pull up my notes here. Here they are. So also, guys, we want to tell you because Keisha and I we love to talk about inmates. So we are going to
Yeah.
cover inmate to roommate. Keisha just reminded me of that because I thought I had time to think about it, but it actually comes out May 30th. So
Mhm.
that'll come out May 30th. Everybody watch Inmate to Roommate. And I believe, Keisha, it's on Lifetime, question mark? Can
Or
you
is it on
remember?
A&E?
It might be it might be on A&E.
I think
You
it's
guys,
A&E.
we've got plenty of time to give you the details, but just letting you know that we will be covering it. It will be on the $10 family pink shade level of Prime. There's always great stuff over there, guys. Right now we've got MILF Manor over on that level. And then on the $5 Andre's Rage level of Pink Shade Prime, we're doing Seeking Sister Wife and 90 Day Love in Paradise. Meredith and Amy covered that for me last weekend because I was in Puerto Rico. And
Fun.
yeah, I was looking around for celebrities. I didn't see any. But as I do, I asked the people that work there to give me their celebrity stories, of which, of course, they're not allowed to do. Um,
Oh, you couldn't
but
slide him $100 bill?
Oh, no, it's not that important. This one guy named Vincent, he drove us in the golf cart a couple of times, and I
Mhm.
could tell he had loose lips. So I was very happy
Oh.
when he showed up the second time to pick us up to take us somewhere.
Mhm.
So I was asking him, I was like, "See, there's houses over there, like the homes." I said,
Uh-huh.
"What's the deal? Like, who lives in those homes over there, on the golf course? These
Mhm.
gorgeous homes." And some of them are like right on the ocean. And he goes, "Oh, I've heard people live over there." I go, "Like who?" Because Dave was just shaking his head like, "This is so embarrassing." Um, he said, "Well, I know that Logan Paul and Jake Paul have a
Oh.
have houses over there. The houses are like $30 million." Um, yeah.
Which one is about to get, like, his head knocked off by Mike Tyson this summer? Is it
I
Logan?
I don't know. This is the second time I've had to talk about Logan and Jake Paul in the last month, and, before that, I had never heard of them in my life. But
Oh,
because
really?
I was trying to figure out who owns that Prime drink, and that's who it is.
Mhm.
It's the boxing one. It's the one of the brothers.
I think that's Jake. I think it's Jake. I'm so ready for the match against Tyson. Like, it needs to come right now.
So I don't like boxing at all. I really don't.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
but I do understand the significance of Mike Tyson in this world. And
Yeah.
when my son said at dinner that one of these guys was fighting Mike Tyson, it was
Mhm.
going to be such a
Mhm.
joke because he's going to beat up Mike Tyson. And Dave and I were like, "What?" We're like, "What? Mike Tyson will literally bite your body part off." Like, what?
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's funny because there's a video of, I think it's Jake and his dad. He's telling his dad that he's fighting Mike Tyson. His
Yeah.
dad goes, "Dude, do you know how fucking hard you're about to get hit?" I
Mhm.
can't wait for it. I'm ready. Ready.
It's interesting, right? Because like my kids are young, and John, my son, is like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, Jake Paul's going to beat his ass." I go, "In what world?" He goes, "He's gotten really good at boxing." I go, "I understand, but Mike Tyson is the heavyweight champion of the world many times over, and he also literally
Yeah.
has six brain cells rubbing together up there, and he don't
Yeah.
give a shit."
Yeah, he
Um,
he doesn't, but he has a good. I love his comeback story. You know, he
Yeah.
all these bad things happened to him, including like when his little girl passed away,
Yeah.
and he has just turned it around. And I have to tell you guys that Mike Tyson has one of the funniest cartoon series I've ever watched in my life. It is called Mike Tyson and
The tiger.
the Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Okay.
So it will have you in tears
For
laughing.
children?
It's so no, it's for
Oh,
adults.
it's adults. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a kid could, like a preteen, teenager could watch it, but
Okay.
it's so freaking surprisingly entertaining and funny. Just
Okay.
putting that out there in the world.
Well, it's interesting that like John as a teenager thinks that this guy will beat him. And I was like,
Mm-mm.
and he goes, because Mike Tyson's so old. I go, it doesn't
We get
matter.
it.
He's got
Mike
the skill.
Tyson. Yeah. And Mike Tyson is seriously training for this. Like, this is not like some exhibition thing that he's got going
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Exhibition.
Yeah. We'll see.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to watch it. What does it cost? Like $600 or something to probably watch it. Probably
I'm
something
going to bum
crazy.
off someone else.
Yeah. Well, I'll just watch the clips on YouTube the next day. Somebody tell me about it.
That's all you have to do. Yeah.
But that was interesting. And then he was talking about some other basketball player. He was telling
Okay.
us about. He goes. One weekend all the Nike athletes came. He kept talking, and Dave goes, "What do you mean? It was like a Nike team?" And he goes,
Mm.
"No, like all the athletes sponsored by Nike." So Dave goes,
Oh,
like
wow. Okay.
Serena Williams,
Yeah.
like and he goes, "Oh, yeah, yeah, like people like that." He goes, "It was so funny because we have these big golf carts with the 6 seats." He goes, "And we would pick up 3 guys, they would each get in a row because they have to turn sideways because 'cause they're so tall."
Yeah, because so big. Yeah. That's funny.
So then I was like, Give me some names because my son will know
Yeah.
who all those people are." And he was like, "I don't know, the tall guy that's Japanese." I was like, I have to
Y'all
look that
mean?
one up."
Y'all mean?
He plays for the Lakers.
And did
Who
he used to play for the Rockets?
he used to play for the Washington Wizards, and now he plays for the Lakers, but his name was like Rue,
Uh,
RUI
oh, no.
something. So we
Oh,
looked
okay.
him up,
Okay.
and then he said some other guy, and I'm like back there on my phone, like,
Yeah.
and then he told me because we were asking about the Ritz-Carlton, like the
Mm.
vacation club where you like buy in and you get a certain amount of points per year, and then you can use those points to like you could blow them all to go to this place for like probably once and then not have a vacation for 2 years, or you can go to like smaller places. Like you could use them at the
Mhm.
Ritz-Carlton at the Pentagon City Mall here.
Right.
So I was kind of like, oh, I'm so interested in that. I go like, well, I would never do it, but I'm interested in it
Mhm.
because I have a friend whose in-laws do that and they go
Okay.
there like once a year. And he goes, "Oh yeah, so the residence is where when this restaurant was we went to." He goes, People do also live there. So they live on the Ritz-Carlton property and they can go
Oh.
to the restaurants and charge it like a country club and everything.
Mhm.
Um, some people live there. I was, oh, he goes, and I work here, the guy, the golf cart driver. He
Mhm.
goes, I work here as a, concierge, whatever. And so I was, I need to move closer because right now I live 30 minutes away. So I was like, I want to move closer into the Dorado area. So I was looking at what those apartments were. Like, if, what would it be? He goes, if I got like, my wife, or if I had,
Right.
one apartment. And so the top ones are penthouses and the
Okay.
bottom ones have their own walkout pools. But the second
Oh,
and third floor don't have that. So second and
okay.
fourth floor are the worst ones, right?
Mhm.
He
Okay.
said a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath apartment was $16 million. And he goes, and it wasn't even with the pool. And I was like, you better have a pool and a full-time staff.
Yeah.
Um, what? What? And
Oh,
he goes,
that's a lot.
I know. And he was like, yeah. So I was like, I don't know what I was thinking that I was going to be able to live on this property. I go, I don't know. Anybody could afford that. So he became our friend. So then he kind of gave us some scoop. He did say one time he drove Serena Williams and she was very nice.
Okay.
Because also when we were driving around at this place I took a bunch of pictures for you guys. I think I'm going to make like a big reel and put it out just
Mhm.
because the place is so gorgeous. But there was these 3 helicopter pads. And I go,
Okay.
now why do you need 3 helicopter pads? 3.
Huh?
He goes, well, some people, they land at the airport and then they helicopter over here. You understand it's a 30-minute ride to the airport. It's not like it's 4 hours. And so
But
I
they have to
go,
take a helicopter.
and I said, oh, they do? He goes, yeah, sometimes if you live in the residences, like that's part of the package, you could get a helicopter. I was like, Oh, okay. So I was like, but you need 3 landing pads? He goes, yeah, sometimes there's 3 here at once. He goes, every day here, you never know who's coming. It's always going to be somebody famous and you never know who it's going to be. And I was like, well, can you think of anybody else? If you think of anybody else, just let me know.
I'm
Let me know.
surprised you did not give him your card.
Because I've seen famous people posting from there quite a bit. Like I've seen Bethany Frankel, I've seen Ramona. These are famous people to me.
Yeah, the Bravo celebrities. Those are our
Yeah.
football players.
I've seen Eva Longoria post from there.
Mm,
But I was telling Dave ago, if they're posting from there, that means they were here like 3 days ago. Like they're not
yes,
posting
not
at that
yeah,
moment.
of course not.
So
I don't
every
even
s-
do that.
oh, I do because I'm stupid. But every single person that passed by me on the beach, if you don't even know, I am like boring holes into them with my eyes. Like, is that a famous person?
Trying to figure out who it is.
No, it's just regular people that are there on a work trip like me. You know,
Well, I mean, at least you were there.
at least I was there every year
At
because we go
least
on this
you were
trip,
there.
and it's a work trip for Steny Hoyer, who is 86. He's a member of Congress that my husband supports. I mean, my husband's company supports, and we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a work trip, but every time I'm like, this will be the last time we come because he's
Because Dickie's gonna kind of.
he's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
he is more in shape and more active than I am. But
He will
he's
probably
running for
live to be
reelection.
99.
He's
Oh
running for
well.
reelection currently.
Well, he knows he's like, I still got some more years in me, so let's just start this campaign up.
He's very with it. He's not.
Yeah.
He's the same age as my dad. He's more with it than my dad.
Is he rich?
No, if you're a member of
Oh.
Congress for that long, you're not rich.
Like, did he have like family money or something like that he came from? I'm trying to hook my
No,
mom up.
no. Oh, he just got married.
Oh, dang.
He just got married. This is not interesting to anybody, but his wife did die like 40 years ago, and he never really
Oh.
he had one like age appropriate girlfriend for a long time, and then now
Mm.
he's had this second age appropriate girlfriend, and now they just got married. She's sorry, the blues. She's in her 70s. So,
Oh. I
mhm.
tried, Mama. I tried.
Sorry, Charlotte.
Yep. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, I saw the most beautiful pictures of your mother the other day.
Of my mom?
Yeah, I think it was because I was looking for something on Facebook and it popped up like people you may know, and it
Oh.
and
Okay.
it said
She's cute.
Charlotte Holman. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. She's cute.
Shar.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She's
She
real.
totally changed. She
She's
changed
cute.
the spelling of her name without ever legally changing the spelling of her name.
So did Amy Archer.
Okay, and it's on like everything. It's her the way she spells it now is on every legal document. I'm like, how? She goes, I just started doing it, and there it was. I never stopped doing it, so everything has it on there.
The only problem would be sometimes at the airport, like if your
Hmm.
driver's license doesn't match like your TSA or whatever,
Right.
they'll
She
get
ain't
you
had any
sometimes.
problems. Yeah. Do you
Wow.
think we look alike?
A little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. If
She's
you
real
see my
cute.
dad, you'll think I look like him too. Yeah, she's a cutie. So if you have any, men in their 60s,
Mhm.
I just want her to have someone with a large flow of cash. I don't
Mm.
know what she wants.
Who cares?
I don't care. I just want them to have lots of cash. People probably think I'm a total gold digger. I'm not.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our chatter. Also, that's the announcement. Inmate to roommate. Keisha and I will be doing that together. That will be on the Family Pink Shade level. It doesn't come out till May 30th. Between now and then, we'll figure out like what time it's on and what network. But
Yes. Uh-huh.
but for now,
You
we'll
know.
now you know. And yeah. And
Yes.
again, MILF Manor's over there too, and that's nothing but a good time.
Hmm.
Those MILFs be
I couldn't get
MILFing.
into it.
I know.
Apparently.
I know.
I
Oh, but
couldn't.
Keisha, now that they
What?
had the first episode and they said what the twist was, now are you
What's the
going to watch
twist?
it?
Is that the guys? Like the dads or something?
Yes, it's the dads. So it's these cute young guys and all these women. And the age
Okay.
difference is just so big, it's ridiculous. It's like these guys are like 21 to 27, and these women
Right.
are like 47 to 59. So the
So
guys are
where
in their
did the men
20s.
come in?
So the guys come on. Okay,
Yes.
we're the guys you're going to date, the MILFs and then the
Okay.
young guys, right? And
Okay.
then at the end of the first episode, all their dads show up.
Oh, so
All
is that the opposite of what it was last year when like the sun showed up or something like that? Or
last
was that
year
a different
it
show?
was all the MILFs, and it was like, are you ready to like meet your bachelors? And they raised up the thing or they rolled away a curtain, but it was so janky. It was like
Mm.
shot on a android. I mean, it was so janky. They pulled away the curtain, and all the bachelors were their sons.
Oh man.
So,
Mm.
so the
That is
first
so
episode,
weird.
it was real weird. So on this first episode, each woman separately at some time did say something about her son. Was like, yeah, my son is so like embarrassed that I'm dating, or like I have 3
Yeah.
sons. They would all say something, but that was just to like to throw you off. Because then when the guys got off the boat, none of them were the sons. They were just random dudes that were young.
Hmm. Okay.
And then at the very end of the first episode, all their dads showed up, and all the dads are good looking.
Really?
Yes.
Because all the moms the last time weren't that great.
No,
There
and
was
these
some
are
hot ones.
the same here. I'd say they're 75% hot. Better than
That's
last
pretty
time.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good number. Okay. All right.
So yeah, you got some real horny ones that have already had some. There's already been a hot tub makeout and a
With the
guy.
dads?
No, the dads haven't done. The dads just arrived. That'll be
Oh,
episode
okay.
2.
Okay.
The
Okay.
dads just arrived. So episode 1, the dads just was like, "Hey, sons," and then all the ladies were like, "Woo, look at them."
That
One
is
guy.
so weird to me. Like,
Oh, what? I think they're done with twists now. What else can they do? They can't
I
make it
don't
the
know.
opposite. They can't make it daughters and dads. I mean,
Well, maybe everyone has a fucking twin. The twin comes in.
MILF Manor. The twist this time
Twin,
is
yeah.
it's a twin. Yeah.
Twins. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And I watch crazy shit. That kind of shit right there is crazy to me.
I know. It's kind of
Yeah.
gross. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Is.
covering that with my friend Deanna Jane over there on Beach Park was just only the best. All right, let's talk about Love During Lockup, episode 5, season 5, episode 3. Sorry. Season 5,
Okay.
episode 3, but probably your DVR says season 5, episode 25.
Or 533 or 5600. You just never know.
This is the 3rd episode of this iteration of Love During Lockup, and it's called Cut the Cameras. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it
Name's
because
good.
Tennie is saying cut the cameras, and then she later goes in,
Mhm.
cuts the cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or Teenie, as Kate is calling her, which is so funny.
She's so cute.
Tennie is so cute.
Tennie's so cute. And but the other person calls her Tennie, Tiny, Tennie.
She called her Teenie.
Teeny.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can say that.
Teeny
without
tiny.
thinking hard about it. Teeny tiny. Yeah.
Teeny
okay.
tiny.
Gotcha.
But her name is Tennie, and Tennie is she is just so cute.
Mm-hmm. She is.
She is so cute. Okay, so let's start with them. So we got Tennie, age 33, stay-at-home mom, and Rob, age 34, robbery with a firearm. So they're in Oklahoma. Now, Rob's mom, Kate, is still sitting there, and because Tennie has said, you spoke his ex's name, and I'm getting up, and I'm leaving. Like, I don't deserve this. Nope, you're not going to do that. So she starts to walk up. Now, Kate sees her meal ticket walking right out the door.
She does.
So she shapes up real quick.
She's like, I got to get this act right, and I got to get this act right real quick.
Yes.
Yes. Let me apologize or something.
So she says she's sorry. And then she's like, now sit down. I'm sorry. She says, now tell me how you feel so we can understand each other. Mm-hmm. And Tennie goes, I didn't come here to be ambushed about the ex or whatever. And Kate says, we both have a lot of hurt bottled up. I wasn't trying to shoot you. I wasn't trying to shoot you, which was an interesting term.
You aimed. Oh, you've never heard like come in fully loaded? Really?
I have never heard that, because then she says, you came in here with a loaded gun and then tell me you're not trying to shoot me. I've never heard that phrase.
Well,
it makes sense.
I think Tennie's from Texas and so am I, so we're totally used to hearing that. Cocked and loaded and I thought everyone said that kind of stuff. Yeah,
they're Oklahoma people, so that's right next door.
Okay, there you go.
Or right above something.
Yes.
So she says, for the last 5 years, it's been me and my kids up and down the highway, sitting in a visiting room, eating out of a vending machine. It's always me. I've started a petition for his release. I've done all that. You didn't do it. She said, he had an excessive sentence. And then she said she tried to get his sentence reduced because he was a first-time offender and got an excessive sentence for whatever he did, armed robbery.
Yeah, robbery.
And she says it got 3,000 signatures. And so I did what I could. And then she says, not only did his mother not help, I don't even think she signed it.
That's a damn shame.
Wow.
And she probably did it. She's like, he gonna have to pay me to make me sign this petition. She probably wanted money for it. I wouldn't put it past her.
Kate should have taken that to her church and had everybody sign it.
Yeah, she should have. Yeah. And that's pretty good. I know she says, like, I just got 3,000 signatures, but that's not easy to do.
No, I can't even get 300 Instagram followers.
Me
Come on
neither.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Kate says, listen, I was wrong for doing what I did. And then she puts her hands up and does air quotes. She says, I was wrong for doing
Yeah.
what I did because I didn't know. And she does
I
air
don't know what that
quotes
meant.
around that. What did that mean?
I don't know at all. I think she thought it was the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
To
But she
call
used
out,
it
talk
wrongly.
about the ex-girlfriend?
Oh, no, not that. But when she said, I don't know, and the air quotes.
I guess. She says, I'm not perfect. I came from a fucked up background. And Tennie goes, I also came from a fucked up background. And then she tells us that her daughter Cheyenne's biological dad passed away when she was 1, and Nehemiah's dad is non-existent, and she's been a single mom. They show all these cute pictures of her and her kids.
So I peeped her Instagram page.
Ooh, okay.
So from just what I saw, and this is what I think to be true, I think that she was still with Cheyenne's dad, because on there they have where they celebrate his birthday. And like Tennie had made like a little video to go with it. That guy was really cute. Yeah. So, if they were not together, it doesn't seem like they were on bad terms. Or she does right by her daughter by talking about her dad and celebrating her dad as well. Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Because then the daughter's like 14 and the son's like 9,
13 or 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Kate says, look, if you all are in a position to help me out and you are able to, you should help me out.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either. And then Kate says to the producer, she goes, she's right. I haven't been up and down the highway like she has. She's right. I haven't done that. And okay, I like her. All right. And then she says, listen, you need to tell Rob he needs to up that $100 a month to $175. And
I mean, why not just make it 200?
I don't know. Maybe she thought that was a bridge too far. She was like, I'm just going to do 75 and see how that goes. A week. It's a week, not a month. It's a week.
Right.
It's a week. So he's giving her $400 a month. And so now Tennie's at home. She pours herself a glass of wine and she was like, I am so mad about this visit with his mom. Like, there's so much about it I was mad about. He has not even checked in with me about it. Well, that's annoying because they talk all day long and he's following her around on the camera and he hadn't even called her to say.
I'm telling you, he's messy because he's messy for just the situation that she just came back from. Yeah. There was no reason that they had to meet face to face. There was no reason why he hadn't told his mom that he was the one who requested the money back. He's a little bitch to me, but he looks good on those Instagram photos. He looks real good.
He's real cute. And
he's cute.
I think that, the sweet Matt Sharp money, they were like, listen, meet in person to film this scene and we'll give you a $50 Amazon gift card. And Kate was like, I'm there.
Yeah. So I did see someone on the Reddit. Everyone's trying to figure out where the money's coming from, right?
Yes.
Here's a theory, and I gotta say, might make a little bit of sense.
Okay.
So with her having all the cameras and him having the whole setup that he has in prison because he's a shot caller, they think she's a webcam girl.
No way. I don't see that.
I don't know.
I don't see that. I don't see that because she's got those kids there. I just don't see that.
She's got lots of hours in the day when the kids are not there or the kids are asleep.
I am going to choose not to believe that. I think she's too classy for that. I do.
Well, a lot of people can seem classy, but they got that ratchet in them.
And they're married,
So
I don't know.
Porn stars there's porn stars out there who are married.
I know. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm going to disavow that theory.
I'm on the fence.
All right. So she's mad that he hadn't checked in, so she turns off all the cameras to punish him, which is pretty funny. She throws some of them in the drawer. She was like,
She was big mad.
Rob calls her the next day and goes, "Hey, did you check on why the internet's down? Did you check on that?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "'Cause the cameras don't work, so the internet must be down. I hope you called and checked on it." And she goes, the internet's not down. I turned them all off." He goes, "What?"
He was in total shock because he didn't make any money last night because the cameras are
Stop.
off.
And she said, "I just needed an evening to myself. So yeah, I turned them off." She goes, "You didn't even call to check on me to see how I
Mhm.
was doing and how it went with the meeting with your mom." And he goes, "Oh, well, was it not good?" She goes, "What?" She goes, "Your mother made it clear to me that she would rather you be with your ex." He goes,
Mhm.
"No." And then he tells us he was in a 7-year relationship with this other woman that he met on a pen pal site from prison. And
Mhm.
basically it overlapped with Tennie. And like Tennie
Mhm.
won because he left that girl and married Tennie.
Oh,
Hmm.
I wonder is this gonna pop up later on?
And then Tennie goes, "And your mom says you give $100 each week that I didn't know about. So,
Mhm.
like, what else don't I know about? You gonna fix that situation with your mom before you come home? Because by the way, she told me she wants more." He's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, okay, all right, all right."
You, your women ain't happy with you right now, Rob. You got to make it right.
Then he says he
Mhm.
has a portrait tattoo of his ex on his arm that Titty doesn't know about. And he pulls
Yeah.
up his sleeve and shows it. It is a full face up
Yeah.
there on his
I don't.
bicep.
I don't care if when I picked him up, he only had one arm. He better not come with that fucking tattooed arm around me, or I'm gonna slap the shit out of him with it.
Oh my God. Yes, that's right. Because he shows it. He says, whenever I talk to her, I
Uh-uh.
always have my sleeve pulled down or I turn to the side. I go, "It's been how many, 3 years and she hasn't seen the top of that arm?"
Well, because he knows. I'm sure he's got every angle worked out where she can't see it. If he came home, there's no. I
If
don't
he's
even want to
such a
think about
baller
how
in
to feel.
prison, he could have gotten that covered up because it'll take a while.
I agree. Yep.
But if he's
Yep.
such a baller, he could have already done it.
Yeah. He better get it done before that release date. Maybe that's why he wants to extend his stay.
That's what I'm thinking. He's like, "I got to buy myself a
Mm-hmm.
little time in here."
Yep.
Um, he gets out in 3 weeks. So I don't know if that's enough time to get that thing covered because you can't do it all in one sitting with the prison tattoo artist. You got to do it in little spurts where you're not getting in trouble. Of course, they
That's
probably just let him
true.
call in a tattoo artist from the outside to come in.
Oh, I know with all his special privileges and shit.
Jeez. Um, so then she goes, "So anyway, you're going to be out in 3 weeks. So we'll just, he goes, 'Well, I just want to talk to you about these things in person.'" She was like, "No, you're going to get it out in 3 weeks. Let's talk about it now." He goes, "Well, I met with my case manager, and if I take the parole and get out when I'm supposed to, which is in 3 weeks, I'm still going to have to check in and do the piss test." Now, he didn't say for how long, but I
Right.
think I think that we heard parole is half as long as your sentence, or is that probation?
Ooh.
Can't remember the answer.
For some odd reason, I think probation is shorter than parole.
Yeah. Of course, same question, different year. So, he says, "I could just not take parole and then just get out a little bit later, like 2 months later." And she was like, "What?" And he goes,
Hmm.
"Like, we want to travel the world and do things. And how can we do that if I'm on parole?"
It makes sense what he's saying, and it's only 2 months. That's not that bad.
But is he only going to be on parole for 2 months?
I doubt that he has been in prison that long for the crime he committed, and he would only be on parole for 2 months.
I
There's
know.
no way.
But to stay in prison
Uh-uh.
2 months longer to get no parole seems to make no sense to me.
Somebody let us know, because
Somebody
every
tell
now and
us.
then we get real confused, and we just don't know.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. So she was like, "I've planned so much, and like Cheyenne thinks you're coming to her birthday party, and
Mhm.
like it's going to be disappointing to her, and it's disappointing to me. And
Right.
basically, I need some help around here."
Mhm.
Um, and she says, "I'm extremely disappointed that he's not telling me everything." Well, you
I would
wait
be
till
too.
he's going to have what's going to have like a big
He better put a fucking sunflower on there over
it's
that
going to have
face.
it's going to be a like a skull, or it's going to be He can't put her face on that face, but would it be funny if he tries and then it looks like a morph of two people's faces?
And look like fucking Abraham Lincoln on his arm. So he's trying to morph it.
Abraham
He
Lincoln.
tried. Yeah.
All right, let's go to our new couple. This is Rick, age 48. He's retired.
He's only 48.
I'm so sorry, 58.
Oh,
58.
okay. I was like, thought he was older than that.
You're going to
I
be
was
like, damn,
okay.
he's an old 48. No, he's 58
Right?
and he's retired. And I'm here to tell you, 58 is too young to be retired. If you've got nothing to do, 58 is too young to be retired. You better have a plan. You better have a hobby.
Or get a prison wife.
Or get a prison wife. That'll keep you
Yeah,
occupied.
yes, it will.
So this is his girlfriend. Her name is Samantha, and she is in prison for felony DUI. He lives in Gilbert, Arizona. So
maybe she needs to talk to Ayonna and let her know you can get some prison time for DUIs.
Right. It seems like she's had so many at this point. It seems like she's had 3, 4. She's had a lot. She has a lot. She hadn't learned her lesson that Uber is a thing. Yeah.
Right.
So Rick is shopping. He says he's shopping for the reunion. We understand the high school reunion. And my first impression is Rick's kind of cute.
Yeah, he is.
He's cute.
Good looking. Yeah.
And he's shopping with his nieces, Diana and Veronica. And he says he and his girlfriend, Samantha, have been dating for 3 months after dating 30 years ago, like briefly in high school, nothing serious. You know, he was a ladies' man, but there was always something special about her because she was real pretty.
She was, and she still is.
She was, and she still is. But he says he searched on the internet for her after he got divorced, and he found her on a pen pal site. Wouldn't that just be some shit, Keisha? If you're like, let me look up the hottest guy in my high school, and they pop up like, oh, here he is. He's in the prison system looking for pen pals.
Yeah, and if I were 58 and single, I would go ahead and write.
Would you?
What else do I got to do?
Well,
I would. Okay.
What are they in for? Yeah.
I'm nosy too. I'm like, girl, what are you in for? Like, it would totally be just total nosiness and to entertain myself. And I know that's not right, but I would not date that person.
Right. Well, okay. So he found her on this pen pal site. So we meet Samantha, and she is in a re-entry center in Boise, Idaho. So she works there. They make sure she can hold down a job and all that. So that's good. So sounds like she's had some jail and some rehab, and now she's learning to like live in the world, hopefully as a sober person.
Yes.
But she got 3.5 years for felony DUI. Okay.
So is it a felony DUI because it's been so many times you've been arrested for it?
Yeah, I think after the second one, then it's felony. Yeah. And probably sounds like she probably got them back to back.
And I think there was a couple of other things on that list too.
It looked like evading police and some other things. Yeah. Maybe she's trying to do a high-speed chase. She says one day she got a manila envelope full of photos of him. And I was so excited. I ran right to the phone and called him.
That is so funny to me.
That he sent her a envelope full of photos?
No, because I used to say vanilla.
Vanilla? Like, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't in her age group when I said vanilla.
I say you were probably like 10.
Yeah. I might have been in high school.
Yeah.
And I thought it was vanilla.
It was funny that she caught herself. So she says, so he's walking around the store with his nieces, and then he says something on the phone to Samantha about something in the trust account. And then he's just like, I say, what? What?
Yeah.
Trust account? What? What? And so he goes, it's not much. It's just $125. It's not much. And Veronica says, well, you know, I'm a correctional officer and I get to read all the mail. And I know how people, they are playing up other people and they're saying, this is my girlfriend, but this one's my wife. There's always all this drama. I love it. It's like fun reading. I was like, man, that would be a fun job.
I think we would do very well at that job.
We'd be able to like sort it out. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So now we got to make like a tree of like, here's the prisoner and then all the women.
Yep.
Yeah. We'd be able to figure that out pretty quick.
We would have full-blown investigations going on.
Y'all, nothing gives me more confidence than a new outfit. I love when I put on a new outfit, especially in the summertime and you're going out and you're looking cute. And then you're like, I have under boob sweat. And that's really not cute. So that's why I want to tell you guys about Lumi deodorant. It is a whole body deodorant. It is powered by mandelic acid to deliver outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet. And yes, even your privates. In fact, it was patients' concerns about private part odor that originally inspired the OBGYN who invented Lumi. Flash forward 6 years, and they've earned over 300,000 five-star reviews. You guys, my husband has even heard of Lumi. When the box came, he's like, hey, I've heard of that. This is like an all-over body deodorant. I mean, really. So it is seriously safe to use everywhere. Seriously, you could put it, we call it in the summer between your thighs. We call it the chafe because you get the chafe between your legs. So Lumi, you can use it on your chafe, your under boobs, your thigh folds, your belly buttons, your booty crack, and your feet, and the other downstairs area. Again, it was created by an OBGYN, so it is totally safe to use all over. It can block odor for up to 72 hours. It is formulated with that acid that'll stop the odor before it starts. It's more like a pre-odorant. It's baking soda free, paraben free, pH balanced for safe use below the belt. Some of our sister wives are always looking for things that are pH balanced, so we should let them know about that. They always need that pH balance for that sister wife coming in. You can choose from a variety of fresh scents. I like the toasted coconut because I like everything that's coconut. Now, Lumi also has a starter pack that's perfect for the new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice. You could get like a little mini body wash, deodorant wipes. I got the deodorant wipes, and I'll be taking those with me on my trip to Mississippi, and you get free shipping. So, as a special offer for the listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code, which is Pink Shade. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack, y'all. Okay? So you're going to go to lumideodorant.com and insert code Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase. Okay, lumideodorant.com. That's 15% off. And the code is Pink Shade. LUMIDEODORANTE.com and use the code Pink Shade. And she tears up and says, this is my job. I get to do this every day. And I don't want you to get walked on like I see some of these prisoners walking on these guys. Then he makes a joke. They're like, she's in there for DUI. He goes, yeah, she likes to party like me. And they're like, that's not funny. Like that's what we don't
we're
want to
afraid
happen.
of. Yeah.
He says he's been sober 2.5 years. Now we don't know how long she's been sober. She's in prison for 3.5 years. So hopefully she's been sober that whole time. He says he realized he had a drinking problem 2.5 years ago. And then the nieces, who he really feels are like his daughter because he doesn't have any kids, they say that there was a moment in the past where they thought they would lose him during his detox process. And
that's scary.
They like tear up, and then they worry about Samantha getting out and leading him back to his old ways.
That's a good concern to have.
Yeah, it is. It is. And he tells the nieces that, you guys got to get on board with Samantha because I'm going to marry her. And they're like, no, what? And they're like, we're so worried about you. And when they say that, then he starts crying.
I didn't figure out why he was crying.
I didn't either.
I didn't understand what his tears were. I have to be honest with you.
Okay.
He look on his face the whole time looked like it was just waiting to crack.
Like he was going to cry?
Like he was going to take a drink and cry.
Oh. It's not funny.
He did.
Sorry.
It did. Mary Payne, I'm so serious. He just looks like he's just ready to crack at any moment, and like he would fall off the wagon. That is just the look that I got from, like, there's something going on that we don't know yet, but it's weighing on him heavy. I don't know.
You thought he seemed like super fragile.
Super fragile. And
I could
bitch
see
coming out of prison and he's lonely. She can talk him into doing anything, including drinking again.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to hear that.
Well, we can always hope for the best.
We'll hope for the best. I believe in their love. So, okay, let's talk about somebody's love I don't believe in, and who, speaking of somebody trying to lead somebody down the devil's path, it's Joey and Michael. Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
yeah,
Speaking of
yeah.
Boise, that's where they are, Boise, Idaho.
Hey,
Hey.
potatoes. Whenever I hear Idaho, I know nothing else except for potatoes. And I know
Yeah.
that's so bad.
No, I know what you
It's
mean.
bad. Yeah.
Um, so in his talking head with production, Joey says, "I know I upset my family last night talking
Yeah.
about the information that my sister said about my
I
relapse."
hope he kicked her in the knee. Because she totally deserved a kick in the knee underneath the table. Like,
Yeah.
hello, that was between the two of us. But she
Yes.
did the right
Yes.
thing. They needed to, I think his
Yes.
family needed to know. Because again, he seems very fragile in the face. Like
Yes. Yes. He
anything will
does.
break him.
Yes. And so he says it was very hard to see my parents' disappointment. My whole family was so upset. It was, it's my own fault. I have to take responsibility for it. So then he talks to Michael. So they're talking on video call. And Michael's like, "Oh my God, there's a fight in here. You see, they're taking that guy out." And then he's like, there's pepper spray.
Yeah. Like it was
Um,
nothing.
and he says, "How'd you feel about meeting my whole family?"
Mhm.
And he says, "Oh, I thought everybody was really nice. I thought it was great." And he says, "Yeah, I wasn't so great at dinner last night because I told my family about my relapse." Well, my sister did it. My sister ratted me out to the family.
She sure damn did it. And she did it so smoothly. Like,
Yep.
right
But yeah, I was
on.
like,
Not like she didn't say like I have an announcement to make. There's
no,
something I need to tell you guys. She just added right on in the conversation. It was real smooth how she did it. I think it
yeah.
caught him off guard.
And Dad had a mouthful of food and was like, "Is that right?" Huh. so, he said, "Yeah, it was rough." And so Michael says, "Did they want to blame it on me? I could understand if they did. I can understand how it looked that way, but you got over it and you're fine, right?"
Like
And
it's no fucking big deal. Like that was
yeah,
huge. That wasn't even that long ago.
I don't think Michael is like committed to sobriety like Joey is. So for Joey,
He's
this is very
not.
upset. So for Joey, this is very upsetting where Michael's like, "It happens.
Michael is looking forward to being out of prison so he can do drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ready to go back into the party lifestyle.
And then Joey says, "I do worry about Michael getting out and getting active again with the drugs because I cannot go down that road with him. And I would hope that I wouldn't. But it's really hard to work on communication like this when you can talk for a 15-minute call or a 30-minute video visit. It's just like really hard."
Right.
So now they're talking on the phone because the video visit's over. And he says, "Explain to me again about your release date." He goes, "I've already told you this." He
Oh
goes, "Well,
boy.
explain it to me again." He goes, "I'll know something more in 3 months and we'll see if they recommend parole. And then after that, the parole board would be in 6 months and take the recommendation. That's if I don't get any trouble in prison." And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, they could say, come back in a year, come back in 6 months. And Joey's like,
Mm-hmm.
"What? Really?" And he goes, "Michael never gives me a straight answer when I ask him about this. And I don't know why he doesn't tell me because maybe he's afraid to tell me. Like, what if it's like 5 years or something? And then he's afraid I would leave him. And that could be the case."
Yeah, very much so, as we learned.
Then we all of a sudden see Michael in a talking head from prison. Now he's got a different hairdo and a
Must
mustache.
mustache. Yeah. I don't
It's like,
know.
how far apart was this taken?
Maybe it was mustache extensions or something like that.
Probably don't have that in prison. Well, they probably do. Um, he says, "No, I've not been honest with Joey. I could be here another 6 years."
That's a problem. Like that is not like saying 2 more months.
That is
6
not like
years.
saying in 3 months they'll tell me.
Yeah. He
He,
knows. He knows it's closer. He knows it's going to be years. May not be 6 years, but he knows it's not going to be one more year.
right, because I think he initially told Joey about 1 year total.
Yeah. That's
And
not
we're
true.
already like halfway there. And he's like, "Yeah, we're just going to kick that can down the road a little bit more."
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be easy to find out, though.
If you and I were on the outside, we would find out for
You just,
him.
can't you just look up the sentence? Like, doesn't it say it somewhere on the prison
Every
website?
prison every prisoner, if they don't know anything else in the world, even if they don't know where they're going to live after they get out, they know when they're getting out.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Are
right.
pretty damn close to it.
They know the difference between 6 months and 6 years.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, let's open. Let's not open. Let's continue with Shantae and True. And
Oh gosh.
this was so funny because so many people sent like, Keisha knew, Keisha knew about Shonta and her food because we opened with
That
True.
seasoning.
Now, True is in the Culinary Arts Center in the
Mhm.
kitchen at the prison. He goes to
Yeah,
class Monday through Thursday learning
yeah.
the culinary arts.
And Shantae should be there with him.
Now, this was really something. He was like, look at me. I'm eating squid. Look at this. I just did this. He's made a delicious looking omelet.
It looked real good.
Yeah.
But I gotta say something about him.
Okay.
His muscles are too much.
It's too big. It's
Like,
too puffy.
yeah, like at a kid's birthday party, they have a balloon artist or they have like the
Yeah.
balloon arch and it's a wrestler theme and
Uh-huh.
they've got the balloon muscles.
Yeah.
That's how his muscles look, like ballooned or something.
It's sort of like, how does his arms and his chest all work together? Because it seems like his arms
Yeah.
can't even like go down to the sides.
Yeah, he needs to let the dreads go. He needs to just get a normal haircut because the dreads are making. You were right. His that forehead and that
Yeah.
hairline is
Yeah.
bad.
I checked it
I
out
paid
again
more
this week.
attention.
I was like, that's
It's
not
bad.
baby hair. That's hair that's fallen
No,
out. Yeah.
is he must maybe he's balding in the middle and he's got like the dreads covering it up or something like that. But just be bald.
Just be
It goes with
bald.
your muscles. I
Yeah.
mean,
Totally
yeah.
agree. I think he would look great
Hmm.
bald. He's got such a nice face. So he says he's learned how to make all sorts of things in there. And Shonta really needs Shonta. It's Shantae, but it's spelled Shonta.
Hmm.
Shantae needs to step up her seasoning game. And I was like, was he
Hmm.
listening to Keisha? Did he listen to this
It's
episode?
it's no. He's listened to her talk about making food.
Yeah,
I'm still traumatized from that seafood boil.
I
Like
know.
I made James watch. I said, "Look at that! Look, she's putting each piece of like food like on there with her hand. You're supposed to just pour it all out. Like I said, it's dry. It was a waste of seafood money.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really was.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
help her out.
she's in debt. She didn't need to be spending that money.
No,
Now we see Shantae at her fast food manager job. Could you ascertain what fast food it was? Because I could
it's
not.
Whataburger.
Oh, it was Whataburger?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so the
Whataburger.
stripes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
And for
that
you
is
people, don't at us. We know it is technically Whataburger, but
Whataburger. Whataburger.
we call it Waterburger.
Oh, I say Whataburger.
Yeah, like it's a thing. Like down here, it's a thing. Like even on the commercials, it's Waterburger, but
Oh,
it's really Whataburger. Yeah,
Whataburger.
it's a big culture thing down here in Texas. Like,
Yeah. We have it in
yeah,
Mississippi. Yeah. Um, so, she said she's a restaurant manager. I'm not
okay,
one to
wait.
I'm not one to I don't know. I don't want to get picky about it, but is Whataburger a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a restaurant. I mean, she probably makes okay, pretty good money being a manager there.
I think she does.
But I don't think that means that she's able to cook on her own just because she's a manager at Waterburger. They've already got all their recipes.
Everything's like pre-made and you just drop it in the fryer.
That's it. But
Yeah.
she seems to use that as, oh, I'm a restaurant manager, therefore I can cook. No.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she'll have to be the business brains and let him be the cook. But
Well,
he
wait a minute.
doesn't.
Let's go further down and
Okay.
where he explains what their roles are going to be.
Okay. So, she says she really wants to open her own place. She's always
Okay.
wanted to do that. So she meets with a woman named Fanny who owns this like African Caribbean cuisine
Yeah.
restaurant
Mm-hmm.
and showing her the food and everything. And she's also a restaurant advisor.
Uh-huh.
And Shantae says to open up this restaurant, she'll need to take out a loan for $100,000. Now, remember, she's currently paying 2 mortgages and supporting a man in prison and has 3 kids.
I don't even think the $100,000 loan is going to be enough
And she
to
says,
open a restaurant.
well, she said, I wanted to have 25,000 of my own money to put in, and that's what my
Mm-hmm.
plan was. But it was stolen from me, so I'm starting from square one.
So $5,000 was stolen,
Right, but not 25,000.
but not 25,000. So I don't know where did someone else steal the other 20,000?
Was it true? So
Mm. She probably has spent that money on him.
I bet. Yeah.
Mhm.
So True's question to Fanny is, how long until you make a profit? Now, as far as I know, they don't have a menu plan. They don't have like a
A
staffing
business plan?
arrangement,
Nope.
a
Mm-mm.
building, the
Mm-mm. All
permits.
all we know is they're gonna serve shrimp and grits because that's the only
Hmm.
thing that I've heard her say.
Yeah.
So
And so Fanny says, well, at least 2 years. He goes, no, no, no,
yeah,
no, no. I'm thinking like a few months. Um, and she's like, well, that's just actually not how that goes. He goes, I'm getting out of prison in a few weeks now, and we got to get this going. I was like,
with my no money and no experience
that's not how that
yeah,
works.
at all.
So Fanny tells Shantae she would advise to never have a partner.
Yeah.
She said, people come and go. And,
Hmm.
you better make sure you have it all in writing that 50% is yours because that person can walk off with 50% of the business at any time. And I would advise no partners. You see, Shantae's like, I didn't think
She
about
always
that.
has that look on her. Well, you wouldn't even do that with a person who was not in prison. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like you would have to think about it. And then so during the conversation, he said that Shantae's going to be doing more of the cooking, and he's going to be doing more of the business manager stuff.
Okay.
Really?
And how's he
From what I saw,
qualified
I
for
was like,
that?
well, how does Shantae qualify for doing all the cooking? They need to exchange roles.
Yeah.
She needs to stay out the kitchen, and he needs to stay out of the office. So,
Oh my God. So now she goes to a coffee shop and she meets with her
mhm,
stepbrother, Fred. Now, Fred is a
mhm.
dapper dresser. He has on a suit, a giant cross in front of his tie, and a cane, and says his boss dropped a 75-pound magnet on his foot.
I don't know, Mary Payne. I was
Huh.
still in shock at how long his nasty ass fingernails were.
I did see his fingernails. I tried to avert my eyes.
Have you ever seen like an old Dracula film
Yes,
or
yes, yes.
yeah, when Gary Oldman played Dracula and he had the long finger just
Yes, I remember he had his hair pulled back in those, like, little
yes.
rolls up on
Uh-huh.
the side. It was so
Yes. Uh-huh.
creepy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good job, Gary Oldman. So, she says, my brother Fred, my stepbrother Fred, he's always been in trouble. He's always been in jail. He's always going to jail for robbery and theft of some kind. And, Fred and I fell out a while back because $5,000 was missing from my safe. And I know he stole it because the only person in the house was him and my kids. So I know he stole it. And she wants it back. So they sit down and she says, how you doing? And they're fine, great. Yeah, I want my money back. And he says, I wasn't in the house or around. She goes, yes, you were. And he goes, I never even saw your safe. I mean, like you told me about it and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew that money was for the restaurant you wanted to
Mm-hmm.
open. Why would I take it from you knowing that you were going to use it for something? Well, then he says, I was battling addiction for a long time, but I didn't take anything from my sister.
Yeah, and when he did his little one-on-one, whenever he said that, he kind of did the finger scratch to the face. That
He was
always is an indication that the person is lying.
he was doing a little
Yeah.
look down, look to the
Yes, he
side, like
did.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. These Love During Lockup camera crew,
Mm.
they need hazard pay for everything they have to go through, but they always keep that camera on somebody just a minute too long, and that person
Yes, they
always
do.
gives something up, always,
Yes.
because they just got that
Yes.
camera on them. The person's like,
Uh-huh.
can I go away now? It's so awkward. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're right. And I have to
always.
say, Shantae is just so she's got to be smart because she's a manager, but
Right.
it's simple is just written all over her face. Her facial expressions are simple. Her reaction to things are very simple. Why was she not beating the fuck out of Fred for stealing her money? I don't know. She just seems really, she just kind of smiles and nods.
That's the thing, though. I think you're right. Is that she does come off kind of not that bright, but she
Right.
obviously has to be
Yeah,
because
she has to be.
she's a double homeowner. She's always had a
Yeah.
good job. She's raised these kids. Like
Yeah.
she's got to be smart enough to handle all that and handle her
Right.
finances and whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, don't tell your felon stepbrother that you've got a safe in your closet.
Well, but there was no point in her telling him that. That's what
Mm-mm.
and why wasn't it in a fucking bank?
Right. Right.
Mm.
So True says like, no, so okay, so True calls and it's
Mhm.
like, oh, yeah, I'm here with Fred. And then True goes, "You gonna give that money back?"
Hey, hey, hey. He started with, hey, hey, hey.
You need to
You got
make
the
it
money?
right. You're gonna make it
Yeah,
right. And Fred says, "Listen, man, when you come home, I got something in store for you. And so maybe it'll help, because then you could trust me. Because we're gonna be around each other. Like we gotta trust each other and stuff. And I got something for you when you get home.
that's probably weed.
I mean, and then
Cash.
I get you a job where somebody will drop a 75-pound weight on your foot.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
maybe he'll get a good lawsuit and can
um,
pay her back her $5,000.
well, True says he knows some shenanigans went down with Fred, and Fred just needs to come clean and return that money. That's it. That's it.
Hmm.
Then Fred tells Shantae, he goes, "Look, I know True. I was on the prison block with him, and I just don't think he's right for you." And she goes, "You're the one that introduced us."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he goes, "Yeah, because I just wanted you to not be bored and have something to do." And she's like, "Okay, well, good
Okay.
job." Right?
But I don't
Yeah.
think that Fred is lying, though.
No, I think True's probably got lots. But think about it. If you're
Yeah.
perusing the pen pal website
Yep.
and
Yes.
you see that guy, you're going to be like,
Yeah.
well, he looks like I could be his one and only. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure that, when she saw him, that was like huge for her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I got this one right here.
Right.
I think a lot of other women got him too, girlfriend.
I think
Sorry.
so too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish off with Ayonna and Jamal
And Lexi
and
Blow in another episode.
Lexi, the friend slash driver of Ayonna. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Ayonna is giving smooches to her daughter Amira in the kitchen. Her little girl. That little girl is so cute. Those little cheeks. Oh,
She had
cute.
the look on her face like, Mom, you smell like the club.
She was like, "It's enough kissing." Okay.
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
like, okay, okay.
And I don't like when people kiss babies until they scream and cry. I mean, like, well, they're not
It's,
crying, but they're laughing so hard that it looks like it hurts.
yeah, yeah.
Just give
But
one little
sometimes
kiss.
their cheeks just, I love baby cheeks.
I know sometimes you can't.
I just love them. You can't help it.
You can't help it, but you don't want to. You don't want to traumatize them by like making them like tickle them till they're like laughing, but they don't have any control over it. Because then they feel like
Yeah,
you.
and she sees that baby every day. Like,
Well, maybe not.
maybe
So
not. Yeah, you're right.
So, her friend Lexi comes to pick her up. She's going to Lancaster and she's like, "Goodbye to my house. I don't know how long I'll be gone. Either 14 or 90 days. I don't know."
I have the
Um,
answer, by the way.
oh, good. Let's get to the end and then tell me.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So she reminds us she could go to prison for 14 days. She could go for 90 days. And so she's got to get over to Lancaster to make sure her son has money for school shopping. And she's got to make sure she's giving Jamal money on his book. So she's going to go ahead and give him 2 weeks worth of money just in case. And she's got to make sure both her kids are taken care of, when she's going away. And my
Mm-hmm.
question is like, well, first thing you better do is get that child's car seat correct. Because that girl
Oh, that was
she
bad.
had Houdini'd her way out of half that car seat. You didn't even fix it.
She did it. I mean, at least when Monique and Derek were driving and he was in his car seat, she strapped him in really well. This
Ah.
bitch just threw the baby in the seat and said, "You can figure it out.
It was
Either
like,
figure it out or you're going to be in danger."
one arm's
She's
enough.
awful.
Should need two arms in
Yeah.
there.
She's
Um,
awful.
and so she stops and puts the money on his books and stuff. And then this is another question I have for the monkeys. So she
Mm.
said she's going to put 200, but she did 201. Is that because it's like a 50 cents fee for every $100? I
Probably.
wonder.
That's what I gather. I said there must be some kind of fee in there.
Yeah. So she has to go to court on the 7th, but the 7th
Mhm.
was the day she was planning to go see Jamal.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she has to go to jail the next day. Whatever they tell her on the 7th, she's got to go to jail on the 8th. And she says, I need to see my man because I'm like addicted to sex. Like, I need to see my man. Like, I could just miss my court date. I was like, you're not going to get to fuck him in the prison. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was like, what does that have to do? Whatever you're doing now is what you be doing when you get back home because he's still going to be in jail. What do you mean you're addicted to sex?
I
What
mean,
does that have to do with him?
yeah, he's not around. So Jamal calls and Lexi talks to him. And then he tells because she's like, I don't know. I've seen her, be involved with some guys that didn't turn out to be so great. And then he tells Lexi, you should get ready to be a bridesmaid. And she's like, okay, I'll be looking for a dress.
He talks way too smooth.
And Lexi says, he's incarcerated. He'll tell you
Yeah.
anything he wants to hear. And,
Mhm.
truthfully, if she's gone for 14 days or 90 days, I'm sure he'll get another girl in that time frame. you know?
Probably so. And Ayonna will beat the girl up.
Yes, you will. So Ayana is now at her mom's house. So she's doing her call with him, the video call that she had scheduled.
Mhm.
And she's like, let me just say hey to Darian really quick. So she tells us, she had Darian when she was 17, and her mom helped her take care of him because she was struggling with postpartum, and they just got used to living that way. And she loves him very much, and he loves her too. And she sees him all the time and pays for him, and everything's fine. All
That
right.
is always a weird thing for me. I just don't understand it. When someone has a kid and that kid is being raised by a grandparent, and then you have another kid and that kid lives with you.
Yeah.
I always wonder, how does that make the other kid feel? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. How does Darian feel about that? Or does he think he's got it pretty good over at Keisha's house, Grandma Keisha?
I think he thinks he has it pretty good over there with his grandma.
Yeah. So then she goes into the bathroom and shows us her favorite party trick, which is clapping her ass cheeks.
I mean, it sounded like firecrackers were going off in that bathroom.
I was like, that's talent. I mean, that really,
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I
that's
was impressed.
I can't do that. Like, I want to be able to do things like that. Like, I want to be able to twerk, but
No,
I
I
just
can't.
can't. I'm fascinated by it. I just cannot. I think I'm fascinated by it because I cannot do it.
Me too.
If you hear that sound coming from my butt, it's because I farted. Not
Gross,
because my
Keisha.
cheeks, not because my cheeks are clapping like that. Something else is going
Oh,
on.
God. And she's like, I just want to be a slut for you. Sticks her tongue out. And he goes,
I
yeah,
know.
you're going to be my slut. You'll be my forever hoe. Yeah. I was
Well,
like,
that's at the bottom of marriage certificates now, where you can sign a forever hoe. You just put your signature right there.
oh, God.
Where do these people get this shit from?
I don't
Like
know.
how did you think of that?
I don't
Forever
know. But
hoe.
she said it. I want to be your slut. He says, yeah, forever hoe. I mean, he jumped right on.
Mm.
So then she's like, my court date now has got moved to the 7th, and that's interfering with my planned visit. He's like, oh no. He goes, but that's terrible. Like, what if I can't talk to you for 3 months? Like, that's not good. And she's like, yeah, you can like talk to another girl that I'll have to murder. And he
Yeah.
says, no, I don't talk to any other females.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Right. He goes, it'll be so rough if we can't talk. You're my peace of mind. And now we got to figure out how to keep each other sane in an insane situation. Like now I got to help you too. So now Ayana goes down and now this was funny because her son was trying to teach her like a TikTok dance in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was pretty funny. She's like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
She's trying to dance with him. And then she sticks her leg straight up in the air and goes, put your foot on the mirror. Put your foot on the mirror.
No, 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 no. She goes, do
That's what
the
she,
Amira. Because
I
the
thought she
little
said,
baby does that.
I thought she said, oh, here's a dance I know. Put your foot up on the mirror.
Uh-uh. I think she
Oh,
said,
Lord.
do the mirror. And that's when you see the little girl is doing the same move. Like, that's her signature move or something like that. The babies.
Okay, because she leaned over and put her leg in a split
Mm-hmm.
up on and I was like, is she doing a split with her coochie on a mirror? And she's showing that
Mm-mm.
to her kids?
I mean, she probably does do that at the strip club, but I think
Yeah.
she's really was talking about do the mirror, like the little girl. That's her name. Yeah.
Okay. I feel stupid now, but I feel better.
Well, I'm sure people out there think what think I saw and what you think you saw too. So I'm sure we'll get lots of feedback about that.
I like your explanation a lot better because
Let's hope and pray that's what it was.
mine was disturbing. So now Ayana talks to her mom. She tells the kids to go upstairs and she says, yeah, I just want to thank you, for having Darian in here and taking care of Amira for me and everything. And mom says, first of all, mom looks like she's 14 years old. She
She's very
looks
young.
so young. And then did you hear
Yeah.
a little hint of an accent?
Mm-mm.
A little hint of like a Caribbean accent. I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. And the second time
Okay.
I listened, I was like, I definitely heard it. So
Okay.
she says, this is your second DUI. And at some point, you have to get your life together because what you're
Right.
doing doesn't just affect you, it's affecting other
Mm-hmm.
people. She goes, I pulled my shit all the way together. I had 2 kids right after high school, worked a full-time job, and kept it going. And she's like, yeah, you did. You did that shit. And she said,
Mm-hmm.
but for this situation, depending on how long you're gone, I'm going to have to take days off of work because there's a 2-year-old here now, not the 9-year-old that
Yeah.
goes to school. And she says, I got to take days off of work and not get paid. And I still have this whole house to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Yana goes, I don't know why you're getting mad at me for shit that's like out of my control. And
this made zero sense to me. And yeah, she at that moment, she proved that she's just a dumb bitch.
she just doesn't take any accountability for her own action.
None. She sees nothing wrong with driving high.
She goes, I mean, whoever came up with that law? That's so stupid. And
I
my
don't know,
mom's like,
because people can potentially be killed or hurt. Things can
she's
be
like,
damaged.
she was like, this is just like beyond my control. And Keisha
Ah,
says, it's not beyond your control. Stop doing dumb shit. You
yeah,
always act like it's nothing, but you've got to be more responsible because I don't know. I'm not going to always be here. And she goes, well,
that's
you
right.
should be because you're my mom.
Yeah, she's something else.
She's,
Maybe
and
I hope for Keisha's sake, her other child has it all the way together in life.
me
Because this
too.
one doesn't.
No. And she's speaking very disrespectfully to her mothers about take care of her children.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Keisha outside says, when it comes to my grandchildren, I'll always be there, but enough is enough because she's very selfish.
Yeah.
She is. She tells Ayonna, I'll be here to be supportive, but not to pick up
Hmm.
all your pieces every time. Ayonna goes,
That's right.
no, because that's what my man is coming home to do.
Girl, stop.
What job is he doing? He's a drug dealer.
Yeah. And he's going to go, right. For his sake, I hope he doesn't. But
Yes.
the chances of him going back to that lifestyle, I mean, you're dating a stripper. That is like, he's going to be in the club with her selling drugs.
I hope not.
I hope not either. I hope they start a business, like a legit business. I'm totally lying because it would be like
Keisha.
it would be like the worst business of all businesses if they. I don't even think between the two of them they can spell business. I really don't.
Keisha, you tried so hard. You tried hard
I
for like
did.
4 seconds to be nice, and then it just couldn't. You go, I hope they're successful. No, I don't.
I just don't think that they have it in them to be successful. I just if they were with other people, maybe.
Yeah. That's
But not
probably right.
together.
That's probably
Yeah.
right. If they had other people. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next time on Love During Lockup, Ayana's in the car with some cute dude. I don't know who she's in the car with, but it's a cute guy. And she's got
You
Jamal.
do realize that we don't get that, right? You're watching the screeners and you get to see the next week's previews.
Yeah.
We're not able to see that if we watch it normally unless we watch the show that comes on afterwards, and that's where they put the previews at.
Oh, what's the show that's on
Mhm.
afterwards right now?
The Barnes Bunch, and I refuse to sit down and watch that.
I don't
just
even
to
know
see
what the
preview.
Barnes Bunch is.
Yeah, it comes on right afterwards. I only really kind of know about it because the guy was married to a woman who used to be on Basketball Wives when I watched.
Okay.
And the girl is a plus size model, and her mom is Beverly Johnson, who was like one of the first
I know.
black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know
So
who that is.
it's them and all their. Well, he's got kids, she's got kid, and they've got a kid together. And they've had like some epic fights online throughout their relationship. Yeah.
Does Beverly Johnson make appearances?
Yeah, she's been on there. Like it's been on when I'm like not paying attention, and I'll stop.
Okay.
And yeah, she's been on there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Ayana's in the car with some cute guy, and she's on the phone with Jamal and says, yeah, I mean, we're going to get married. He goes, yeah, I'm thinking like 2 years. And she's like, what are you talking about? 2 years? What? I don't know who this cute guy was in the car. It's probably her brother. That's
Maybe
got
her
shit
brother.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tennie talks to the kids to tell them that he's not going to be out when they thought he was. And then we say Rob, for some reason, Rob says, yeah, there's temptation in jail. And that does sometimes make me nervous.
Whoa,
Temptation
wait.
of what? Huh?
Wait. Temptation from who?
Of what?
Of what?
Because he wasn't a drug guy. He just did a robbery.
There's so many questions to go along with that statement.
Yeah. Then we see Andrew waiting for Candace outside the jail. Here she comes. Rick is at a party. So I think it's the high school reunion.
Okay.
And he's talking to Samantha on the phone because these people walk around with these people and their phone on speaker wherever they are.
Yeah.
And Samantha says, those girls better know that you're taken. They better not be flirting with you. And then you see this real drunk, like lady that could be on MILF Manor.
Okay.
She's like, I don't want to text about his man, but she's not even here. Some drunk white lady with like super blonde hair is like, I didn't say it, she's not here. I decided out of her mind. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Oh. Um, Shantae asks True if he has any other girls, and he says, "Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You're tripping off of nothing." And
Ugh.
then they show that thing with him, like, leaning on that table going, "Hmm." They've shown him do that a couple of times where he looks, like, real
Mm,
sinister, like, "Of course, I've
right.
got 6 other bitches."
Of course he does.
He
Yeah.
just thinks Shantae is a ticket to get his own restaurant.
Yes, he does, and a place to live.
Yeah. You guys.
Oh, I forgot to
Oh,
tell you.
yes.
So,
Yes, then what
because
was the update? Okay.
I swear they're gonna make us wait to like the episode before the last to hear how long she goes to jail. It's
So,
2
Ayonna.
weeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Okay, that's good because
yeah,
she did the anger management and stuff. I don't know if it's helping,
yes,
but
that did help. I don't know. We'll see.
so she goes for 2 weeks. Is she able to talk to him for 2 weeks?
That I don't. I don't know.
Okay. So I wonder if it is like her brother comes and gets her out because the kids are
Maybe.
in the back seat when she's talking to him.
Okay, yeah. So that's probably her brother.
He was real cute, whoever he was.
Okay,
The whole family's attractive.
they are. Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know
Not
why she's
everyone's
so,
smart though.
I don't know why she's so hateful to her mother. That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Well, Keisha, that brings us to the end. And tell me
Hmm.
what's happening on the Libra Lounge with Keisha. You guys, that's Keisha's podcast where she talks about
Yeah.
pop culture stuff. So, what's happening
Yeah.
over there? What's going on in the world that we need to know about?
So new episode drops on Tuesday, and I got to tell you, Kimberly from a date
Yeah,
with Dateline,
yeah.
covered Mama June. We talked for an hour about that.
She's so happy to have you to talk to about it.
And we're both like old ladies. We're both our backs were hurting and stuff like
Oh, I
that.
know, I
So
know.
yeah. But other than that, we're gonna talk about what is in my show notes. Kim Zolciak supposedly has a foreclosure date.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about
Again.
again. I hope
Uh-huh.
this is it. Kim Kardashian's hair, or
Okay.
lack thereof.
Uh-oh.
And Gypsy Rose has a whole new a makeover. So we're going to talk about
Right,
that too.
right.
And whatever other outlandish things celebrity do between now and then, we'll be talking
Well,
about.
again, I've told you guys, if there is a Gypsy Rose live after lockup thing,
There
like she
is.
claims, I
Mhm.
can't find it. I can't find it. If it's on Lifetime, they don't have any information about it.
I don't think it's dumb filming. I don't even know if the filming has started.
But she said it's gonna be on Lifetime, but that's a
Yes.
WeTV show, so it makes no freaking sense.
I don't know.
Somebody help us.
Well, I take that back. They are filming
Okay.
because I remember that it was said that she and her soon-to-be ex-husband are not shooting scenes together since she left him. So they're
Mhm.
still shooting.
I did just see like a reel or something of her that she put on Instagram 'cause she was off social media, but I guess now she's back. And she's like
Mhm.
walking into Sir, like where the Vanderpump people used to
Mhm.
work. And she's like, "Do you think I should be a waiter here? Hi, hi." And she has a new nose.
Well, everyone on my show knows that I cannot stand her voice.
It's rough. It's rough.
It
It's
is rough
rough.
on my soul every time I hear it. Like
I
I
know,
can't.
but it's
She can't
very
help it.
she can't help it because that's the age she's stuck at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And she's out here really trying to act grown, and she's not grown at all.
I know, and then she's also, it's sort of like that Paris Hilton baby voice versus her real voice, or
Yes.
Britney
Yes.
Spears does that, "Oh, da, da, da," talking like that when
Yeah.
that's not the real voice.
Not at all.
It's trauma based.
Yeah, and if you watch Paris Hilton on Instagram when she's talking to her son,
Mhm.
she will drop the baby accent, and
Yeah.
you'll hear her real voice, and it's the craziest thing ever. It's like, oh shit, that's how she really sounds.
I
But
put
it's
up
her brand.
I did a Instagram thing a while back. I don't know if it's a TikTok or what. I don't know where I put it, but I was very proud of. I'm sure it probably took me a day and a half to do it. It was like 12 seconds, but it was on that show Paris in Love, which I didn't watch the whole thing.
Hmm.
She was moving into this new house, and she
Hmm.
picked up a pillow that was like in the shape of her, a pillow
Of
off the
course.
couch, and she
Yeah.
picked it up and showed it to her husband. And goes, "Oh my god, look at this pillow! Like we had 14 of these made." Like
Yeah.
in the same sentence, she changed.
Yeah. She does.
It was
It's
wild.
weird. Yeah.
I think
It's like, oh,
she's probably trying to drop it, but it's so
phase out
ingrained.
of it. Yeah. I mean, it's part of her brand is that voice.
Crazy. That's
Oh,
hot.
speaking of that, we're going to be talking about Britney Spears too.
Yeah,
We went too hard, people. We went too hard with the Free Britney movement.
I
We
know.
meant well,
Yeah, yeah,
but she still needed a little bit more help.
I know. But it's so
Mhm.
hard now because, like, who would she ever trust to help her, you know?
I have said on my show that she needs me to come and be with her every day,
Mhm.
and I think
Lots
I
of
would get
people,
her right.
well, I think she now at this point is so distrustful, obviously, of anybody,
Mhm.
any doctor, any family member, any friend, any
Mhm.
spouse. You know what I mean? She just doesn't have an area to trust one human in her life. So,
Well, by the end of week 1, she ain't gonna have any choice but to trust me, and we're
oh,
gonna get it all the way together.
it's going to be Camp
Yeah.
Keisha. Hmm.
She needs me in her life. Yes, she does. Mhm.
Okay, well, Brittany, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are,
I know.
call 1-800
Yeah.
Camp Keisha.
And you can pay me in all Louis Vuitton. I don't even need the money. Just pay me in Louis Vuitton.
A girl, she's going to pay you in sheen clothes and brown pumps. That's all she's got.
I'm like, no, no, Brittany. I'm too brown to do brown pumps. Sorry, Britt. Give me Louis Vuitton.
Mm, mm,
Yes.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, please follow me over on the Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. Tomorrow will be 90 Day Happily Ever After with Kimberly of A Date with Dateline, who will also be on Keisha's podcast talking about Mama
Mm-hmm.
June.
Yes.
And Thursday is my interview with the one and only Kathy Griffin. So
Oh, nice.
I was
Very
very,
nice.
very, very excited about it. And kind of made my whole year, really. So it's a great
Aw.
episode. So Tuesday with Kimberly, Thursday with Kathy Griffin. And I'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.